We talk about conversations first.
Okay, conversations.
Networking events.
Usually the networking is like
the most common
what
problem.
we just spoke about, like what we just said. How do I start socializing or talking to people? Because it feels scary, right? To go and approach someone. And the other one is when we start talking, the awkward silence, right? What do I do? What do I say? So those are the common problems.
What do I do? What do I say?
So like I said, have some questions. And even from the questions, you can tell whether the person is interested in talking to you, has things that you feel connected with. Because sometimes after 3 questions, you're not feeling it. Hey, it was great to meet you, John. And then elegantly move to another conversation. No need to pull your teeth whilst you're there.
I mean, so that sounds to me like that's the best way to end the conversation gracefully. Right?
But like, several ways as well.
Okay, because sometimes when you meet someone and you talk to them and suddenly you realize, actually, I don't really like this person, or, the vibe is not right, and you just want to kind of leave. So then, I mean, I suppose, how do you end conversations gracefully without being rude?
Yeah. So you never want to make the person feel bad or cut off, right?
Yes.
So it's always good to have a drink in your hand. Right? A drink in your hand. Networking event, drink in your hand.
Okay.
Water, soda, champagne, anything.
Okay.
And if you're thinking this is not going anywhere, start drinking a bit faster. And go, oh, hey, I'm going to top up another drink. Would you like one? And they'll say yes or no, right? And then you can say, okay, I'll catch up with you again. Then you go and get your drink. So it's not about them. My drink is empty.
Right.
So that's one way. Some people like to use this like, oh, I'm sorry, I need to go to the toilet. Do you mind? So that one's a bit more obvious that you're trying to get away. But the drink is always good because it breaks that conversation. It breaks the pattern. And if they say, oh, no, I'm fine, thanks, then you can move on. But if you say, oh, yeah, I'll come with you, that's fine. Because as you're walking through the room, you might see someone else. You go, hey, Peter, how are you? Hey, meet John. And then you can start having like a 3-way conversation where the pressure's not just on you. And they start talking, you can go, hey, I'm just going to top up my drink. And you just walk off.
Right.
So easy way to just ease it off. I heard someone, someone had this strategy, which I don't quite agree with. They said, oh, you don't want to be in this conversation anymore. You go, hey, Peter, there's someone I want you to meet. I think you get so much in common. Charles, come, Charles, this is Peter. You guys have so much in common. I'll leave you to it. And then you go off. And then Charles and Peter are looking at each other like, what the? So this person said that, oh, that's the best way to do it. And I think it's not really nice because I've been the recipient of that. Someone plucked me and I'm like, and we looked at each other blankly. We're obviously, we're dumped on each other. And no one wants to feel that. So it's, I don't feel that's very pleasant for the person who's on the receiving end.
Right. Okay.
Unless you know that, oh my gosh, you're just talking about crypto and John is a big fan. Okay, you guys know so much, I'm going to introduce you. Then they take off and they talk about it.
And you probably also need to give some context, like to both parties, like why you think both of them. Like if you genuinely think both of them are great for each other rather than just, I'm just trying to offload one from me.
You say that, oh, we're just talking about crypto. I don't know much, but I know you are an expert. So, they're talking about this latest and then they'll naturally start talking about it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Any other tips for ending conversations gracefully?
Usually I like the glass, or if you happen to see someone walk past that you can just kind of like, hey, Susan, how are you? Susan, this is Peter. Hey, and then you can start having just a 3-way conversation.
Right.
I mean, don't exclude them and suddenly, hey, Susan, I haven't seen you for so long. And then poor Peter is just like, just have a little bit of a 3-way conversation about something, but you keep glancing back at Peter because you don't want Peter to feel excluded. And you just talk about, make it a bit more general. And after a while, Peter doesn't like it. Peter will go, hey, excuse me, I need to go. I'm like, okay, sure.